A very good evening and welcome to the national broadcast. I'm Malsha Dharmavardhana.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Vikramarajna, and let's move on to the headlines of tonight's news.
President emphasizes the need for reforms in the tertiary educational system. Government decides not to import vehicles next year. Foreign officials refuse to travel to Pakistan following the killing of late Priyantha Kumara. Health authorities warn over a possible surge in the COVID-19 with the increase of corona patients. Sri Lanka wins gold in the Commonwealth Weightlifting Championship.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with local stories. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that tertiary education system in the country needs many urgent reforms. President Rajapaksa made these remarks while addressing the general convocation of Sir John Kothawala Defence University held at the BMICH today. This was the 32nd General Convocation of Sir John Kothawala Defence University. 1 PhD graduate, 227 master graduates and postgraduate diploma holders from the Faculty of Graduate Sciences and 1,180 bachelor's degree holders from different faculties of Sir John Kothawala Defence University were among the 1,408 graduates who received parchments at this year's convocation. Kothawala Defence University is currently a member of Association of Commonwealth Universities and the International Association of Universities as a world-recognized university. Minister Kehali Rambukwala, ambassadors and high commissioners, defence secretary and secretaries of other ministries, chief of defence staff, commanders of armed forces and heads of security agencies and Chancellor of General Sir John Kothawala Defence University, General Gerald De Silva, were also present at this occasion.
We need to create more opportunities for our young people to study at universities in Sri Lanka. There is absolutely no reason why these universities should not be state universities. Almost all the best universities in the world are not state universities. Most are structured as independent, self-governing entities, charitable institutions or non-profit organizations focused on education. There is absolutely no reason why such institutions cannot be established in Sri Lanka. If the legal framework needs to be changed to make this possible, that can be done. If traditional attitudes are preventing such institutions from being established, those must be strongly challenged. The old objections about higher education institutions outside the state universities being education shops that sell degrees is nonsensical. We need to think beyond this tired old rhetoric from a past era, which is being cynical, used to limit opportunities for our young people. If we do not do this now, many more generations of students will needlessly suffer because of these parochial attitudes. I'm not prepared to let this happen. The fact that students may pay for their studies at universities established outside the public sector does not mean that those institutions sell degrees. Objecting to the establishment of universities outside the public sector on such flimsy grounds is not just tragic, it is a crime. It should be the role of the University Grant Commission to regulate and maintain the standard of all universities, irrespective of whether they are state-funded or self-funded. Furthermore, if any university that charges a fee does not maintain its quality, it will die an organic death in time anyway. Students will not attend universities unlikely to give them opportunities in the job market after graduation. As attendance drop off, any university that does not maintain its standards will cease to operate. If anything, allowing the establishment of more universities in Sri Lanka will create more competition among such institutions for students at all levels, as well as for lecturers and professors. Those who object vehemently to the establishment of more universities in Sri Lanka lack confidence in their ability to succeed such a competitive environment. The sooner their objections are overcome and these new opportunities are created, the better off our students and our country shall be. If we have a diverse and competitive tertiary education system in Sri Lanka that goes beyond what is currently provided by state universities, it might even encourage students who can afford to study abroad or those who win scholarships to universities in other countries to remain here.
Minister Basil Rajapaksa says that no vehicle imports will be facilitated during the next year. The minister also mentioned that new public sector recruitments will not be granted as well. Minister Basil Rajapaksa made these remarks during a meeting held to discuss on the future plans to promote liquid milk under the Vistas of Prosperity Policy Statement. State Minister D.B. Herath presented the program prepared by State Ministry of Livestock, Farm Promotion and Dairy and Egg-related Industries to promote liquid milk under the theme Kiren Sapiri Ratak Saubhagyamat Hetak to Minister Basil Rajapaksa. Many initiatives, including the empowerment of 9,420 dairy farm families, inclusion of 50 million litres of milk to the nation production in 2022 and inclusion of 3,500 million rupees to the national earnings will be conducted under the program. Minister Basil Rajapaksa said that additional quantities to protein required for the people in the country apart from the quantities received from the Ministry of Fisheries should be received from the Ministry of Livestock. He said that the halting of powdered milk imports will benefit the economy of the country. The minister further said that no new public sector recruitments or vehicle imports will be facilitated next year. Therefore, he said that the government requested the ministry to fulfill their duties to halt the milk imports into the country and save those funds for the country. He said that the government will take necessary measures to avoid food shortage next year. Minister Mahindananda Aludgamage was also present at this occasion.
And meanwhile, reports have indicated that foreign officials and accountants are refusing to travel to Pakistan following the lynching of Priyantha Kumara. Many foreign officials have been recruited into high positions in institutions in Pakistan which are engaging in production activities. Many Sri Lankans are involved in work-related auditing in many companies and production divisions in Pakistan. Accordingly, Pakistan media has reported that many officials have refused to travel to Pakistan to perform the services provided through Sri Lanka audit firms following the lynching of Priyantha Kumara. Foreign reports have further indicated that knowledge inflow from foreign countries and the efficiency contributed from foreign officials to Pakistan are expected to decline in future. Minister Professor G.L. Piris had a meeting with Acting High Commissioner of Pakistan in Colombo, Tanveer Ahmed, to discuss the matters relating to financial security and compensation of the family of late Priyantha Kumara. The foreign minister also appreciated the intervention of Pakistan Prime Minister, who has taken personal charge of the investigation and taken steps to immediately investigate the incident. He also welcomed the announcement of donation of $100,000 by the business community of Sialkot and payment of monthly salary of Priyantha Kumara to his family. The minister highlighted that the government is concerned on future of the children of the late Priyantha Kumara and the importance of receiving the payments on time. The Acting High Commissioner assured that the Pakistan government has taken necessary steps for a complete investigation and ensured compensation for the family. The law enforcement agencies in Pakistan are working to ensure the safety of all Sri Lankans living in Pakistan, he further added.
Awarding scholarships to reward 9,000 children of Employees Trust Fund members who have excelled in Grade 5 scholarship examination is set to commence. This handing over of the cheque for the relevant fund was held under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at Temple Trees today. Under the first phase, 6,000 children will receive the relevant scholarship. The chairman of the Employees Trust Fund Board, Sri Anda Silva Vikramarajna, presented a cheque worth of 89,220,000. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Subsequently, Prime Minister handed over the cheque to Chairman of the People's Bank, Sujiva Rajapaksa. 9,000 children of Employees Trust Fund members who passed the Grade 5 scholarship examination reports received a scholarship worth of 15,000 rupees annually. The scholarship program, which was commenced under a concept of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa in 1994 during his Labour Minister tenure, has been in motion continuously. Ambassador of Japan in Colombo, Michikoshi Hedike, called on Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at Temple Trees today. The ambassador informed the Prime Minister that they are keen in bringing skilled workers in Sri Lanka to Japan. Minister Professor G.L. Piri said that two memorandums of understanding were signed between Sri Lanka and Japan over the recruitment of underskilled and specifically trained workers. Under the program to recruit specifically trained workers from Sri Lanka, Japan recruit works under 14 sectors. The Prime Minister pointed out that the interest among Sri Lanka to learn the Japanese language and to seek for employment opportunities in Japan have been increased. The Japanese ambassador said that he is expected to direct attention on the promotion of investment in Sri Lanka during his tenure. Japan has invested more than $382 million in Sri Lanka during the past 15 years and has granted more than 12,000 job opportunities. Discussions were held over the recently opened new airport apron and the sub-runway at the Bandaranaike International Airport, Golden Gate Kalyani and the Kansas City Water Management System, which were carried out with the assistance from the Japanese government. The National Operations Center for the Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak has announced that it will be converted into the National Operations Center for the Green Agriculture. The head of the center, Army Commander Shavendra Silva, said that the operation will be integrated forms of COVID activities after completing nearly 2 years since inaugurating in March 2020.
This operation center been tasked already by His Excellency the President to have operation center for green agriculture. So therefore, we'll be converting this operation center for green agriculture in support of the Agriculture Ministry and other line ministries. So with effect from today, the National Operations Center for Prevention of COVID-19 will disintegrate from the pandemic-related activities. As of today, I think, as you all aware, National Operations Center for Prevention of COVID-19 was established on the 16th March 2020, and it has been since about 1 year and 9 months we have been operating here at this premises. We together as a team have been working tirelessly to control the global pandemic in our country, led by the Minister and also the DG Health. Medical and public health care staff will be able to further improve the controlling of the pandemic in the future and to enter into the new year 2022 as a COVID-free Sri Lanka. From today onwards, this operation center will start contributing to another great national effort, have the National Operations Center for Green Agriculture. I, as head of the Operations Center, take this opportunity to extend my deepest gratitude for the members of the main committee, members of the independent experts panel, and the members of the different working groups, the doctors, and especially the pre-interns doctors. I also thank all commanders of Tri-Forces and the gallant men and women of Tri-Forces who contributed. Thanks goes to the police, starting from the IGP downwards, Dr. Jasingh, although he's not here, and thereafter Dr. Asela Gunawardena. My special thank goes to the media, without which we wouldn't have reached the people of this country. The print and electronic media gave us the fullest support, taking their airtime in support of the prevention of COVID-19 in Sri Lanka. The WHO for all the support given, giving their views, frank opinions during this period. The great people of our country exactly know how the operation center and led by His Excellency the President, how we contributed to COVID-19.
And meanwhile, Ministry of Health has decided to inoculate the booster vaccine dose for the persons above the age of 30 from tomorrow onwards. Those who have obtained both the doses of vaccine and completed the 3-month period will be eligible to receive the booster dose. Steps have been taken to communicate the vaccination schedules in the future. The inoculation of the booster vaccine to those who are above the age of 30 will be conducted covering the entire country. The priority will be given for the groups of people who are economically significant and facing high-risk conditions. Pfizer vaccine will be used as the booster dose. The statement issued by the Health Ministry has indicated that those who were infected with COVID-19 after being inoculated with both the vaccine doses will be eligible to receive the booster vaccine after a period of 6 months. A total of 30,805,384 vaccine doses have been inoculated to the people in the country under the COVID-19 immunization program. Accordingly, 15,949,941 persons have received the first dose of the vaccine, while 13,774,140 have received both the doses. A total of 10,081,303 have received the booster dose thus far. Meanwhile, 508 COVID-19 infected persons were detected in the country today. The number of active cases in the country is at 12,058. A total of 356 recoveries were reported today, increasing the overall tally to 543,823. The Director General of Health Services confirmed 22 COVID-19 related deaths which had occurred yesterday. Dr. M.D.J. Vikramarajna says that indigenous medicine and Ayurveda has been identified as a major foreign exchange earning in Sri Lanka. He made this remark speaking at a media briefing held at the Presidential Media Centre today via video technology under the theme Indigenous Medicine to the World. Secretary to the State Ministry of Indigenous Medicine Promotion, Rural and Ayurveda Hospitals Development and Community Health, Kumari Veerasekara, also participated at the media conference moderated by President spokesman Kingsley Ratnayaka. Indigenous medicine and Ayurveda traditional medicine systems have a very high commercial value in the post-COVID-19 era. Therefore, this is a valuable opportunity to promote the field through new strategies, said the Commissioner of Ayurveda. Arrangements are being made to provide an integrated service with proper coordination of Western, Indigenous and Ayurvedic medical systems. He further said that Ayurveda community medical practitioners are playing a vital role in the prevention of non-communicable diseases at school levels, and by going from door to door, and many programs are in operation to encourage people have a non-toxic diet, said Secretary to the State Ministry Kumari Veerasekara. It is regrettable that the potential of indigenous and Ayurveda medicines has not been taken into account in complying the material mortality ratios indices of the country, and it was emphasized that the indigenous and Ayurvedic medical sector of Sri Lanka have received praise in international as well. As a large number of local grade medicines are being released to the market, their need for greater monitoring of medicinal drug regulations was also highlighted during the news briefing. Responding to questions from media as to whether the plans have been made to legalize cannabis cultivation and the criteria for releasing them to market, the Commissioner of Ayurveda said that the use of cannabis as a basic ingredient in the indigenous medicine was permitted by the Indigenous Medicine Act of 1961. He said at present there is no shortage of cannabis quantities required for medicines, and that cannabis has been used only as a paste by Ayurvedic doctors. It was stated that a program has been identified to regulate all the centers that are being operated as Ayurveda massage centers, and steps have been taken to enforce the law against all illegal centers operating under the name of Ayurveda. It was revealed that steps will be taken to award the National Vocational Qualification Certificate to the trained Ayurveda practitioners, targeting employment in the tourism industry, and plans are afoot to set up herbal gardens and health centers in tourist zones in the future. Dr. Udaratha Pattu, medical officer in charge of Ayurveda Hospital Laggala, was also present. And meanwhile, the expenditure heads of Ministries of Justice, Sports and Youth Affairs, Technology and Development Coordination and Monitoring relevant to state ministries were passed in the Parliament today. Parliamentarian Hesha Vitarna said that young youth gave the strength to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to revive the country. He then inquired the reasons behind the youth to leave the country. Minister Namal Rajapaksa said that the youth in the country has a tendency for foreign employment at present. He said that it is the youth that brings foreign exchange into the country with foreign employments. However, he said that the government has to create a capable generation of youth where the new employment opportunities being to generate in the country. Therefore, he said that reforms should be introduced to the existing educational system. He added that the president has appointed a separate state ministry in this regard and the necessary measures to create a workforce with vocational training and technology have already been undertaken thus far. The minister said that previous government failed to materialize the objectives they emphasized, which are the need for a system change and the need to stop fraud and corruption. He said that this matter should not be dealt with in a political perspective. He said that the youth in the country should move forward with technology. He said that discussions are underway with ministers Mahindananda Ludgamage to digitalize the agriculture sector. The minister also said that 100 local government institutions and the national identity card will be digitalized next year. He added that the next year will mark the beginning of digitalization of the country.
New Governor of the North-Western Province, Admiral of the Fleet Wasantha Karannagoda sworn in before President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today. The ceremony was held at the Presidential Secretariat. Admiral of the Fleet Wasantha Karannagoda rendered an immense service to the nation during the period of humanitarian operation as the commander of the Navy. He previously assumed the post of the ambassador of Sri Lanka to Japan. Admiral Wasantha Karannagoda was appointed to the vacant post of Governor of North-Western Province following the demise of former Governor Raja Kollure.
The Sri Lanka Navy celebrates its 71st anniversary today. Navy Commander Vice Admiral Nishantha Ulugethenna said that many programs have been initiated across the country in celebration of the anniversary. Marking the 71st anniversary of Sri Lanka Navy has promoted 84 officers and 1,684 other ranks to their next ranks. The Royal Ceylon Navy was first established under the Naval Act No. 34 of December 9, 1950. The journey of the country's naval force took a new turn in 1972 after Sri Lanka became a republic. Thereafter, the country's naval force was termed as Sri Lanka Navy. Since the 80s until 2009, Sri Lanka Navy played a key role in the gallant humanitarian operations against LTTE terrorism, conducted surveillance and patrol, amphibious and supply operations, and in support of counter-operations on land. The Sri Lanka Navy indicates that it commits to perform military, diplomatic and constabulary roles in ensuring the national aspirations to safeguard Sri Lanka's maritime zones. The modern Sri Lanka Navy also fulfills the responsibilities of curbing illegal activities in the Sri Lankan waters while ensuring maritime economic activities and provide relief for distressed naval and fishing community in the search and rescue region of the country. In addition, the operations conducted in the international waters to prevent numerous forms of criminal racketeering, including human and drug trafficking, is one of the major tasks carried out by the Sri Lanka Navy. Sri Lanka Navy is also committed to engage in the ongoing operations to safeguard people against the COVID-19 outbreak in the country since last year. The largest vessels belonging to Sri Lanka Navy are on display for the general public today and tomorrow in celebration of the 71st anniversary of the Sri Lanka Navy.
You're watching the national broadcast and we continue with more local stories. Minister Dallas Alahaperuma says the future of Sri Lanka relies on the ocean. He made these remarks while taking part in the ceremony held at the Ministry of Ports this morning. The ceremony was organized for the issuance of commemorative stamp to mark the 50th anniversary of Ceylon Shipping Corporation Limited. Minister Rohita Begunawardena was also present at the occasion. Minister Dallas Alhappenuma said that as the world leaders, the United States forecasts that the country's future will depend on two places, first being the space and second being Indian Ocean. He said that it is the same belief of China as well. Therefore, the minister said that world leaders should possess the authority over the Indian Ocean. He pointed out the nation should look at the country's maritime zone in a new angle. He said the nation should develop the belief that the country's future relies on ocean, which surrounds the island, and direct more investment in this regard.
Many reports were shared recently of the controversial incidents occurred related to gas cylinders. At such a time, national television's Hasit Chandrakumara has invoked a gas sensor equipment to control gas-related incidents. The gas sense equipment, which has been produced as a prechargeable tool, focuses more on the safety and the ease of use for the consumers. This equipment has the ability to detect even a minor gas leak and would notify the users accordingly. This equipment can also be used as a tool to detect any leakages in the gas pipe as well. The national television's Hasit Chandrakumara was able to produce the prototype of the equipment on September 15th. Subsequently, he has been able to further improve the upgrade the equipment. And meanwhile, former president of Sinhala Association of the United Kingdom, Douglas Vikramarajna, has passed away. He was 83 years of age at his demise. Born on April 9, 1938 in Colombo, late Douglas Vikramarajna was a renowned activist who had made many contributions in the patriotic movements abroad in raising voice to safeguard the nations from external threats. He had represented the countries in various platforms, including Geneva Human Rights Council, to protect the nation's image among the international community and also to safeguard the security forces in the highest level for more than 40 years. The final rites of late Douglas Vikramarajna will be held on December 14th at Douglas Green Public Cemetery in London. And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe. Good night.
Good.